Hi writers, we absolutely love having you here to do another Avatar series. Just want you to know that we here at Nick absolutely value you, the writers, and 100% committed to making the next 4 seasons the best story ever.
We did it! Through blood, sweat, and tears, we have completed the greatest 4 seasons of television ever created.
What's up, writers? How's my favorite eggheads doing? So, funny story. I was smoking an 8-ball crack with a fox, complete jackass. Never again. But he bet me the naming rights to your show that a movie about blue alien cat people could break every box office record in history. And, well, long story short, it did. And now you can't use the Avatar name anymore.
What?
Laters!
Okay. We agreed on Legend of Korra. I know we are all salty about the name, but it's okay, because we still have 4 seasons of quality content planned out.
So, funny story, was partying with a mouse in pants and this cat named Epstein. I'll spare you the preteen details, but I'm loose on cash right now, and now you're making a mini-series.
Well, guys and gals, we did it. Nearly killed us. We condensed 4 seasons worth of character development into 12 episodes. It will feel rushed, but at least we told the story we wanted to tell.
So this is actually a really great story. See, remember how I said I didn't have cash to make 4 seasons? Well, my accountants have informed me that more seasons mean more money, so you'll be making 3 more seasons. I want a script for season 2 on my desk in an hour.
Well, this was a tough one. We set up 3 seasons in 2 hours. It's okay, because everyone's phone is on silent.
Hi, hey, so Legend of Korra isn't selling a lot of toys, probably should start making toys, but I'm releasing Legend of Korra in 2 weeks there will be a little advertisement and 0 fanfare. Hi writers, I just found out social media is a thing and that getting likes is a sign that you're successful. So I offered the internet the finale of the show in exchange for 200,000 likes. And that number's 2 million. I dropped it an hour ago. Hi, this is Nick. This is just insane. I was in Mexico, Chicken Brothers reasons, but when you know I got mugged in Tijuana and it was just stereotypical African redneck racists jumped me when I was getting Subway and would only let me go if I gave them everything I had. And wouldn't you know it, the first 3 episodes of season 3 are now online.
What?
It's fine. It was just a Spanish dub. No one on the internet speaks Spanish, let alone reads. Hi, Brian, right? So, no funny story this time. I'm way in debt. People don't love sponges like they used to. Passed up on a little boy wearing a bear head. Now something called a renaissance is happening downstairs. People haven't been watching the show, and it's clearly your fault, so I'm gonna be firing 20% of your staff if you don't cut an episode while still having 13 episodes worth of content. I don't know, do a clip show or something. So make your choices. I'll be in the basement selling my soul to a minor Zoe 101 character and a ginger dwarf. God, why can no one in this town sing? Okay, so the internet's blowing up and it's not been good for our business model. Apparently young boys grow into teens who figured out how to pirate TV shows. Advertisers are losing a fortune, so for getting airing on the network, we're just gonna drop the whole thing on our website weekly. Wish I could say this has been a fulfilling partnership, but you all clearly have no idea what you're doing and we'll never work together again.
Hello?
So, funny story.
After all these years. So, season 4 starts in Snoozeville City. Spirits are all friends with everyone now. Something to do with avoiding consequences. Girl boss Asami is with the president. They're announcing something unimportant. Tenzin's family is in the crowd. They've given up and started wearing spandex. Poor Mako is also here, being forced to bodyguard Prince Wu, who I will be referring to exclusively as Cusco from now on. Mako and Asami bond over the fact that they're both adults now, and it sucks. Puppet leader Kuzco is getting a lowdown about how the Earth Kingdom is still a shithole, but it's okay because the fascists are cleaning up the mess. Over in Bandit Country, formerly known as the Earth Kingdom, things are bad, but have no fear. Up in the air. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No! It's Air Jedi. The people are very ungrateful because they are not staying to fix everything, so the village needs to make a deal with the Nazis. That's right, Bolin is a Nazi now. So is Varric. And they're led by Kuvira, who's taking the whole Iron Woman thing a bit too literally. Her favorite pastimes include killing bandits and threatening to throw them under her train. Back in No One Cares City, Mako is still playing bodyguard to a wannabe pimp, who everybody hates. Mako is given the choice between getting a hot dog and letting Kuzco get pied, and he makes the wrong choice. Not getting paid nearly enough to deal with this guy's bullshit, we cut back to the town, where Opal discovers that dating an idiot is all fun and games, till they do something stupid. Opal meets her other brother, Prickface, whose only defining attribute is he's related to someone famous and wears glasses. Kuvira shows off her amazing negotiating skills by threatening to kill a man or leave his town to suffer and die unless he gives her everything. Fuck my people mayor says no and rattles off a bunch of rumors that are supposed to tell us what a bad person Kuvira is. He's given 1 day to change his mind. In the meantime, the Air Jedi go town to town getting supplies, but who could have guessed it but sky pirates attack them and steal all their food. The mayor is forced to give in and spread his cheeks for Kuvira. Everything seems hunky-dory now that the Nazis are in town, giving away food, taking pictures with Iron Man armor. What could possibly go wrong with these helpful strangers around? Back on Air Temple Island, Mako is thankful that his assignment guarding the Monopoly Boy is coming to an end. Then Lin has to tell Mako that the president sold him to Kuzco for a bag of peanuts and some oil fields. At the Aang clan table, Milo continues to be the worst, and you can do nothing to change my mind. Heading down to the beach to welcome Korra to the city, Sleeveless Dilf thought she was already here, and just like that, the Avatar vanished. Again. Somewhere else, short-haired Korra is fighting in a much better version of probe bending, getting her ass kicked and pretending not to be the Avatar. Wanna know why? Stay tuned in the Korra Gets Therapy World Tour. Korra Alone, a knockoff version of Zuko Alone that still succeeds at being excellent. We can infer that Korra is torn up inside based on the shattered mirror symbolism. She spends her days fighting homeless people for bathrooms to sleep in or playing chicken with the fire department. All this in between hallucinations of herself with much better hair. Exhausted, she starts remembering all the poor decisions that brought her to this point. From leaving her girlfriend to go home for physical therapy, to the constant PTS dreams. The late night talks with her mother that always ended in cigarette breaks. The lonely baths with her ex-wife, a Kill Bill reference. Agonizing physical therapy. The painful letters wrote by her friends.
It's 2:15 in the afternoon. Weather is fair. Chance of snow showers later today.
All the self-pitying brought on by your friends succeeding in their careers while you're still stuck living at home. But more feet pics, the small victories, the big steps, followed by the crushing realization you're still broken. Mental health is a bitch. Writing letters to your girlfriend, lying to your parents, then running away from home, eating some bad seafood at a tourist trap, finding embarrassing pictures of your old self, getting your butt kicked on the beach, getting mocked by old ladies on the beach, not returning to your support structure, getting depressed, and cutting your hair. Meditating in a shitty tree, being made fun of by plushies, wandering the world in search of the woman inside yourself, joining an illegal fight club because a hallucination told you to, biting yourself every night in the most literal sense, and for all this to culminate in you following a stray dog for guidance and finding a top bitch instead. The coronation. This spoiled brat doesn't become king, Kuvira seizes power and renames the country the Earth Empire. Because Empire just sounds more threatening. Coronation Day is finally here. Mako is planning his coup to overthrow the dumbass, and everyone else is planning the same. Back in town, Bolin meets his horrifying ex, who may or may not be expecting him in a room at 11. Varric is treating the women in his life like shit. Mako and Bolin reconnect, then disconnect when Flameboy finds out his brother is a Nazi apologist. Suyin is also in the room, loudly telling everyone her first kid should have been a miscarriage. Kuzco is being a creep and objectifying the woman who put his country back together. It's fine, though. She always gets her way. The official ceremony happens in Monarchist City in front of all the world's leaders who are personally invested in seeing a weak Earth Kingdom. Kuzco thanks Kuvira for all her hard work over the last 3 years, giving her a shiny medal, asking her to kindly hand the kingdom over.
About that, see, I'm standing here next to a 2-pound man in a 4-pound suit who can only stand up because these shady motherfuckers got him on strings. And if my tone isn't a big enough giveaway, let me be clear. I ain't handing over shit. You can keep the gold, I've got my own crown. Empire, out.
The good boy is scared because he's starting to realize this all seems sketchy. But Mr. Sketchy himself is too busy playing with some vines so he'll use to create some jump the shark level technology. Bolin asks Kuvira to tell him about the rabbits and how they're not bad guys, and she does. Aunt BEIFONG comes in to say some tough words, but seeing as she didn't do squat to help the situation, Kuvira brushes her off. Why does this happen to me? Mako is regretting all his choices, finds out his brother is still supporting the Nazis, and he just can't right now. His new girlfriend offers to take him to get a smoothie, but Kuzco gets in a huff when his groupies have moved on to a stronger, more independent woman, causing him to have a meltdown. This is the person who is supposed to rule the Earth Kingdom. In what world am I supposed to feel bad about Kuvira taking power from this idiot? Elsewhere in the woods of Endor, Yoda has decided to beat the badass back into Korra again, and again, and again, only letting slip later between old lady breaths that Korra still has some poison left in her body. Toph gets ready to perform the operation, but our hero can't relax enough to let her pull it out. Distant parent Toph says screw it and makes Korra do it herself. The world needs Korra, so Air Lord Tenzin sends his children to hunt down the Avatar, while Varrick gets ready to unleash something season-ruining. The Calling, the Rugrats episode where middle child Iki finally gets some love, and Korra's vacation comes to an end. The Air Kids are off on an adventure, and for some reason the writers continue to give Milo lines, when he is just awful. There is nothing I hate more than an obnoxious character that gets played for comedy. It's not funny, they're just a pain. Iki goes on an adventure where she pretends to get captured by some bumbling stormtroopers, while Milo nearly dies from food poisoning. Iki has some fun bits, but then leaves after using the guard to get an idea where the latest Korra sighting was. Flying to the giant spirit swamp from the original, they get yoinked. At some point, Korra tries to bond with Toph, but the crotchety old woman is having none of it. Hallucinations are still happening, so Toph decides it's time to try and retroactively make the weak villains of the show seem way deeper than they actually were, by saying they had good ideas. And here's a much better way of describing each of the villains than the abstract BS like freedom, equality, and spirituality. Amon wanted everyone to be equal by tearing others down. Unalaq wanted people to recognize that there's a world beyond our own and for us to embrace it through force. The Red Lotus wanted to destroy bad systems of government, but thought that all governments were bad. See, they just all had great ideas that they ran into the ground. Under the mangrove tree, Korra figures out how to see through Vine. Jinora senses this, they reunite. Toph tells him this is so sweet. Now fuck off. Saw this in a movie once. Korra decides to take the scene from Kung Fu Panda 2 and redo it, beat for beat, without Hans Zimmer's amazing score to carry it.
Oh my god.
No one's getting half these references, are they? Enemy at the gates. Kuvira is invading ZAOFU, Bolin is an idiot, Korra is fighting herself, or that's what the writers want you to think. The actual parallels are pretty weak at best. Sky whales are invading the Metal Clan's territory. Everyone knows what this means except Bolin, which is why Kuvira and Junior are going to use his likability to get the other side to surrender. Einstein on Coke Varrick is playing with his plants, using spirit energy to create a battery, except it creates a laser beam. Yep, laser beams are officially a thing. They were a thing earlier, but that doesn't make its introduction here any less egregious. Varrick briefly considers not using this as a weapon, but after a 2-sentence argument, Kuvira threatens his life with a Vader throwback. They just can't have morally complicated villains in Avatar anymore, can they? They just always gotta throw in that extra little bit of cartoonish evil to really push it over the top. Sure, Azula did that too, but that was mostly for intimidation. She knew that there were times when you had to play nice. In Capitalism City, Asami is meeting up with a forgotten plot point. Her father, who after years of prison food has learned humility. Fantasy Henry Ford wants to be back in Asami's life, but after all the BS he put her through, she leaves. Bolin is used as a peacemaker to get the BEIFONG family to agree to KUVIRA'S terms, but nope, no one's dick is that good. Latar Jr., we find out, is doing all this because of spite and being stuck in his father's shadow, but instead of doing something productive like a normal person, the rich kid is throwing a massive country-shattering tantrum to stick it to mommy and daddy. No compromises made. Bolin gets yelled at by KUVIRA, breaking her spell. Why am I stuck with this one? Korra makes it to the city where, after a quick hug, Suyin starts telling her about how this is all KUVIRA'S fault, and she is in no way responsible for any of this. The Earth Kingdom was in chaos, and the other leaders were asking her to step up and bring peace. But Sue said no, because she has a middle school liberal understanding of foreign policy, which was me, by the way, and that any interference is tyranny, and she won't stop riots because that will immediately make her the queen, when she could just install peace while a new legislative body is formed. KUVIRA points this out, not nearly as eloquently, and when the boss lady won't change her mind, KUVIRA pussy whips Suyin's son and takes some other people to fix this mess. Sue is pissed, Korra is unimpressed, with the comedy duo finally realizing that they are working for metal Nazis. Next day, the two Ks meet, nothing happens. What is happening is a big daddy fight, because one of the writers has a hard-on for mechas and shoehorned into the show. Of equal importance is Asami going back to her dad after seeing a stranger beat a child at chess, reminding her that she still needs to kick her dad's ass at Pai Sho before he croaks. Varric and Bolin get captured with KUVIRA ready to execute them, but Julie just goes to town, jerking off KUVIRA'S ego, and gets to go free. Also, Sue is planning on killing KUVIRA. The good guys, everyone! Battle for ZAOFU. Korra gets her ass beat by a woman in shoulder pads, with Cokehead and a duck running away for comedic relief. Murder mission is underway. Suyin is using her sons as accomplices to get rid of their sister-in-law. That's not messed up or evil in any way. But K-Lady saw it coming and now has just cause to burn ZAOFU to the ground. Announcing to the city the situation, Opal is furious, while Korra points out this is pretty standard politics. Next morning, Korra decides enough with pacifism. Let's just beat my problems to death. Challenging the Führer to a one-on-one fight, she accepts because Korra is off her game and KUVIRA has mastered the art of jogging backwards. The Avatar stay is off the table because the writers have used it so often now, it's become a cheap power-up rather than a world-saving Deus Ex Machina, but that was the old show. And right now, the Avatar needs to go Super Saiyan. KUVIRA is Korra message goes a step too far, zoning out and losing the fight. Air Tai Chiists need to bail out their idiots. In the choo-choo Nazi train, Varric makes a bomb to scare the other scientists out of the car. Forgot to put in an off switch though, so the local wildlife gets wiped out and causes Junior's eyes to swell out of his head. The Metal Clan has a new leader, but BEIFONGs don't kneel, and neither do their husbands. A+ to this guy right here. Reunion. Team Harem is back together with a subplot about concentration camps, and this is supposed to be the light episode. Korra is not thinking about the fat L she just took and is happy to be back with her dog. Also, Boomy got abs now. Good for him. Yes, Asami is the next person Korra goes to see. Make of that what you will.
Gay!
And we get that one blush that Nickelodeon would allow to foreshadow the ending. Can't let the show have too much representation though, so Kuzco gets inserted into the situation. Mako is waiting for someone to put him out of his misery. The dinner conversation shifts to Korra going AWOL on everyone in her life. Not cool. In the bathroom, the Snoz gets abducted, forcing the team back into action. Well, what do we call it a team? It's a duo plus their Uber driver. Taking out the getaway car, Mako is desperate for answers.
Did you kill him? We haven't touched a hair on his head yet. Life imprisonment for being a hack.
Korra uses Vine to find Kuzco, and everyone in the car has questions. In another train, Mako saves the damsel, making their escape. The nice guy gets rejected, and Korra heads for home base, taking the prince to a surf retreat where he'll be safe, with Mako's extended family, as Granny got a thing for twinks. In the other plot, the former bad good guys get captured by refugees who were sent to re-education camps because they weren't of Earth Kingdom descent. Bolin tries to convince them they aren't evil, but Varric isn't helping. They come up with a plan to sneak past a checkpoint. Things go south, mechas pop up. Lava bending is lethal, so it gets nerfed. Varric does a thing and saves the day. Everyone hops on the hiatus boat and sails away. Remembrances. This is the lose your staff or your episode I mentioned earlier. Though it is funny to watch Mako get railed for his poor romantic choices. Varric is also telling a pretty tall tale, but even Spirit Bolin and Fairy Jinora can't save it. Beyond the Wilds. Spirits are running amok. Korra faces the guy who ruined her mental state. This is Mai's daughter. I don't give a fuck what the comics say. Napoleon Dynamite is leading a tour group. Then Little Shop of Horrors happens. Korra investigates. Fuck that scene though. Let's listen to old people talk about politics and how preemptive action may or may not be a viable solution. Korra is now in the scene and mad that Kuzco got invited and not her. Enter stage right Bolin and Varric, who explain the Empire now has a super weapon that can shoot laser beams. Izumi the Fire Lady says if they attack first, she's out, because the Fire Nation has enough PR problems as it is, and won't dive back into always being the bad guy again. Doesn't really matter too much, but Opal is also pissed off at Bolin for working for the Earth Nazis. Lin organizes a little family ass-kicking session. In the woods, Jinora got taken captive again. Meditating while imagining Zahir killing you is hard work, so Korra decides to meet her foe face to face. At a picnic, Opal has a great speech about why having a picnic with Bolin is a terrible idea. And I can't play any of it because Sony claims every video I post with more than 2 seconds of music in it. That's right, they care more about the music than the show. Fuck you, Sony. At least claim me for the right things. Where was I? Varric is being manhandled by Asami. Fun, but unimportant, like every Asami scene. Oh, Korra goes to meet Zahir, traveling to another incredibly expensive prison that was built to hold him, rather than, I don't know, decapitating the motherfucker. Korra meets the man, who has gone back to the shaggy look. She wants to prove she's not scared of him anymore. That's not true at all. They ran at each other for a bit. Great stuff. Then Korra hits him with how Kuvira, being a genocidal tyrant, is all his fault because he capped the previous tyrant. This hits home, so he decides to help. Walking her through meditation, he gets her to let her bad visions play out, accepting it. And what happened? Finally, reconnecting with her inner woman. Korra is a full avatar again and saves Jinora. Outside, in the real world, Bolin offers to be the red shirt for the BEIFONG family suicide mission to save Sue, and the ladies accept. Operation BEIFONG. It's exactly what you think it is. Toph is here to be great, and there are 6 things you can take away from this episode. Being a sarcastic asshole wins you plenty of fans, but damages your actual relationships. Lin never knew her father was a Pokemon reference, or knew who he was at all. Zhu Li has been secretly trying to sabotage Kuvira, but gets caught. The laser is fully operational. Sue gets rescued, and Bolin is fucking again. KUVIRA'S Gambit. The problem with Korra as a show, it has lots of good things, but every season, -3, has one awful thing in it. And that one thing is a detail you will remember the most. Season 1 had the love triangle. Season 2 had the dark avatar. And Season 4, well, that's coming up. Kuvira has decided to invade the colonialist city, because it used to be a part of the Earth Kingdom, but Aang let it be its own thing, then pick a side. We get a touching moment between the evil lovebirds, because that went so well last time. Republic City is preparing for a fight by building mechanical hummingbirds. Oh my god, enough with mecha shit! I wish I could chalk this up to selling toys, but you can't even do that right. Make female action figures, you cowards. Kuzco has discovered his hidden talent of being a podcaster. The whole city gets evacuated, preparing for battle, but they had no way of knowing what would come next. Like seriously, you could not have predicted this shark jumping bullshit. A giant goddamn robot. Who asked for this? Who asked for this CGI monstrosity? Was someone just that horny for Power Ranger fights? Tell me now, because I need a reason for this existing, or I'm repressing all of this again. Robot fires its laser, the president gives up. In another life, Korra isn't having it. Regrouping with her harem, they decide to kidnap Baatar Jr. to get Kuvira to leave. Sneaking aboard his airship with slim, thick Tenzin. Kidnapping the nerd, they drag him to a warehouse for some off-the-books torture, but he's not impressed. Not buying it. Look, Avatar, my type is cold, emotionally abusive women. I know the difference between a sadist who revels in the domination and the girl who snarls but don't have the guts to do it. Sorry, Korra, but you're a bottom. Su Yin tries to tap into his inner mama's boy. Son, piss off, Su Yin. New tactic, Korra decides she can't hurt him physically, so she'll do what her parents did and do it emotionally, promising to dedicate the rest of her life to never letting Baatar see Kuvira again. Shattering him, he calls Kuvira and asks her to cash in her chips to not conquer worst New York and rule their empire together.
Oh, Baatar, you're cute, but not that cute.
Yep. Tries to kill him. Just like that. So much for young love. Day of the Colossus, the biggest of battles. Everyone is pitching in for a fight that I don't think should be this hard. I've seen what the full Avatar state can do, and this tin can with jogger legs don't match up. No one died from the spirit laser. I would call BS, but I'm too angry at that thing to care. The Nazis' Cubics division is invading, and the team any dumb ideas. Even Milos. Robot is standing around unmenacingly and flying squirrels swinging around to pelt it with paint balloons. Metal bending doesn't work because its outer shell is made of platinum. Lava and movie references work just fine though. Laser is too OP, and the hummingbirds aren't ready yet, so they have to bring in the sacrifice to help them out. Junior finally realizes he might have been more invested in his relationship than Kuvira was, and turns on her. Team tries to strike the bot while their own bot cuts a hole. Varric apologizes for years of mistreating his assistant by offering to make Julie spend the rest of her life with him. She says yes, with no prenup. Birds fly in again. Asami's dad knows why he was brought back into the story, and goes out how I like my pancakes, thin and flat. Team is now inside the machine, leading into the next episode that won't win anyone over that's already left. The Last Stand. Backstory comes too late to matter. Another ecological crisis happens, and some incredibly thin but very important representation happens. They are all inside the robot now, and everyone has a job to do. Bolin and Mako are off to destroy the thing's power source, a massive heart of vines. It doesn't go well. BEIFONGs are breaking the gun. That goes great, till they get a hand. Korra is in the head fighting Kuvira. That's going alright. The brothers try flipping the levers, but it doesn't work. Bad boy Mako decides to fulfill his character archetype of being the jerk that sacrifices himself for the team, using lightning to cause the heart to melt down. We get a peek at his oh face, and Bolin fulfills his archetype of retrieving things. Korra is also in top form now, and has Kuvira on the ropes. Then the robot blows up.
Wait, what?
Pulling the wannabe dictator out of the rubble, she thanks her savior by pelting her with rocks. Running into the woods where she finds something she can dumbly exploit, the big-ass can, which has a hand activation device for some reason. She fires away, immediately loses control, and Korra has to use some spirit powers that would have been extremely helpful several thousand casualties earlier. But who cares? She succeeded in nuking Republic City into having a new spirit portal. Symbolism causes Korra to see Kuvira as a reflection of herself. Heavy-handed, but okay. Then the writers engage in a little writing tactic called Too Little, Too Late. Kuvira was an orphan who saw the broken Earth Kingdom and thought, oh, they're just like me. Cool, okay, I get that. But you spent the whole season being a Nazi, and that doesn't forgive shit. Korra takes Kuvira back out where she surrenders. Bolin officiates a billionaire's wedding. Get a cameo from the season 1 douche. Lin checks out the help. Mako succeeds in breaking up with his third girlfriend, who's gonna turn the kingdom into a democracy. Korra and Mako finally settle on a relationship status, teammates, and it's the best conversation they ever have. Every Avatar series ends on a kiss. So someone tell Tenzin to get the hell out of there. Oh, that's better. Asami and Korra talk about things. They decide they need a vacation, and what a better place to go than the spirit world, where nothing bad happens to Avatar's lovers. But I digress. They walk into the light together, holding hands, and the sky pans up, and people's minds explode as they realized Korra happened. Was it properly set up? Not really. Do I care? Nope. It's positive representation that only happened because the network would rather have women be lesbians than single. Well, that's all she wrote, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been a whole lot of fun talking about Legend of Korra again. I know it's kind of the weird, disappointing offspring of the greatness that was Avatar, but it still has a very special place in my heart. I want to ask you all a very special question. Do you want me to do a sarcastic summary of the Legend of Korra comics? Let me know down below in the comments, and if the voices are loud enough, I just might make it happen. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and peace out.